Hey everybody, welcome to the women's basketball edition of Warrior Daily. I'm Tom Gorman. Joining me is head coach Carrie Lohr. Coach, before we get into some basketball talk, how was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, it was great, thank you. But I'm ready to be back in the gym.
Absolutely. Your team was in the gym last week here at the Mathi on Saturday. A nice win over Kentucky Wesleyan, 84-59. First win against that team in 5 meetings, so nice to erase that goose egg from the record book, so to speak. Just tell me overall what you thought of the performance of your team.
You know, I think that the Thanksgiving break actually did us some good. I think having 2 days off, consecutive days off, and allowed the players to go home, kind of get away from basketball, get away from each other. And they really came back on Friday, I thought, refreshed and just excited to be back in the gym. So we were very rusty, though. I know that sounds kind of corny, only being a couple of days off, but we seemed pretty rusty on Friday's practice. But, you know, Saturday rolled around, and there was really just a lot of energy from all of our players. And they just really came out with high-level intensity and all the way around played really well, I thought.
Well, your team is off to a 4-0 start in these non-conference games and getting into GLIAC play starting this week on the road. But a 4-0 start here at the beginning of the year, that's got to provide a little bit of momentum for your team.
I mean, I think it has. Certainly we're not getting a big head over 4 wins. But the returners, again, and I know I've talked about this before in the past, but I just have been very pleased with their commitment, their drive, their perseverance, and they've really been great leaders for us, and they continue to do that. And I think that, you know, their leadership is helping get us off to a good start with, you know, so many new facets of the program. So without question, I think we have some confidence now that we really were unsure of ourselves maybe, you know, 3 weeks ago, going into even an exhibition game and some of our scrimmages. We know we have our challenges ahead of us, but yes, I think we've started to embark on confidence.
4 players scoring in double figures in that win over the Panthers. Junior Deanna Crumpton leading the charge there with 14 points. We've talked about her over the last couple of weeks, but she's continuing to play at a high level.
She has, and you know, Dee is just one of those players that, you know, dare me to do it type mentality, and give her any challenge and she's ready for it. So she's really been performing well, and I'm hoping that we can just continue to ride that out as long as we can.
Many of the usual suspects also playing pretty well. Paige Sickmiller, Lena Thomas, among others. But the nice thing about a win like Saturday, you know, a 25-point result, let's face it, a little bit lopsided, but you're able to use your bench a little bit more and get some players who might not always see a huge chunk of minutes, some valuable time on the court.
Mm-hmm. And I definitely have to give those players a big compliment. I mean, coming in off the bench is not an easy task, whether it's, you know, in the first half or especially in the second half late in the game. And I thought that all of our players remained intense, engaged, excited about our team win. We seemed to have a lot of things going for us, but when we went to the bench, I just felt like those players really just jumped in and kept it going. And I think that that's tough to do, but I think they did a great job.
Well, let's talk about what's coming up this week. You start GLIAC play, heading on the road, Lake Erie on Thursday and Ashland on Saturday. 2 South Division foes. Lake Erie, a team that, you know, had its share of struggles last year, first year in the conference, so maybe expectations aren't all that high for the Storm, although you've got to be ready for anybody in this conference. Expectations are very high on the other side for Ashland. They were picked to win the South Division. So what do you anticipate from these 2 opponents?
Well, you know, if we can go on the road and get 2 wins, wow. I mean, I think that's, you know, everyone's goal in this league is to grab a few road wins, considering the travel for everyone. So to speak about Lake Erie, they're off to a great start. In fact, they're 4-0 right now. They have one of their players is about only 27 points away from 1,000 career points. So I think there's certainly some excitement around Lake Erie's women's basketball right now. So I know that they're going to be ready for us. And Ashland, you know, is a seasoned program, very experienced coaching staff, and you know, they're just solid, whether they're at home or away. So I feel like we're ready after Kentucky Wesleyan and seeing our performance. I think we're ready for conference play. We're ready to go.
All right, Coach. Well, we'll hope for some good success down in the state of Ohio this week, and look forward to some home games next week. But in the meantime, good luck. Enjoy the trip.
Thank you.
All right, that's head coach Carrie Lohr from the women's basketball team. She will join us here on Warrior Daily each and every Thursday throughout the 2011-12 season.